We're rolling. We're live. It's happening. The Nick Moore Show. Nick Rogan is here. Hello, everyone. We're just doing it because that's how this is meant to be. Excuse me, sip of water. I don't know if you can see me on the camera there as I just ducked off. This is a work in progress. I'm keeping this thing together with duct tape. Hopefully it all works out though. That's not your problem though. That's my problem. Because this is the Nick Moore Show, not the whoever show. Welcome. The inaugural conversational topic of the Nick Moore Show. What is it going to be? What should it be? Should it be something big? Should it be something small? Should it be something important? Like what's the meaning of life? What are we doing here? What is time? I don't know. You got any answers to those questions? Leave them in the comments below. All right, there we go. That's the Nick Moore Show. And we're done. Boom. Good. Just kidding. No, we're not. We're not done. I found him, guys. I found Bigfoot. He was in my attic the whole time. He's a good friend. I'm just going to be doing this a lot. I'm just going to be doing this for 3 hours, just adjusting the microphone. Well, yes, I have an important point to make, and if I don't have the microphone exactly a fist away from my face, then how can I make that point? How can I make that point? Very good. Very good. So you guys like Tom Brady? You guys like the Patriots? You guys like winning? Because I do. I like winning. I'm a winner, guys. I'm a winner. That's why I'm doing the Nick Moore Show. To win at life. Ooh, how do you win at life? That's a good question. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. What is success? What is success? What does it mean to be successful? I live in a town where everyone is obsessed with I live in a town where it is about your place on the social ladder. That's the best way. We all live in a town like that. It's called the planet Earth. And it's called capitalism. Oh, here we go. I said I wouldn't talk politics, but we're 3 minutes in. Oh, God. No, if you want to play the social game, but the social, it's like, I'm in a quest in this life for truth, honesty, reality, real things. That's what I want. I used to think that capitalism was real, but then I realized it was just a system made by human beings. So it's just a game. That's all it is. It's just I live in a place where a lot of people are obsessed with the game of capitalism. That's what I'm trying to articulate. I'm playing that game right now. We live in a capitalist society. We don't live in whatever the hell, whatever you think the answer is. I'm not going to, whatever you think I agree with. We're both on the same side. You can project all of your political beliefs onto me and we agree. Trust me. All right. I'm your number one fan. Now at the what am I babbling about here? What am I rambling about? What am I talking about? What I'm talking about is what this campaign is about it's about finding truth. That's what it's about. And Bigfoot has something to do with it. Cryptids have something to do with it. The Jersey Devil, that's a cryptid. Who came up with that? How much bath salts were they on in 1911 when they were like, I'm in the Pine Barrens, and there's a devil there's a winged horse. If I just saw that, I think it might, if I just saw that, I don't even know what I would do. I'd believe that would be my new god, the Jersey Devil. I'd be like, whatever that thing is, I'm praying to that thing so it doesn't fucking eat me at night or whatever the hell. I don't know. The Jersey Devil, the cryptids. The cryptids. Yeah, I don't know what those things have to do with truth and reality and the real nature of reality. Those things are funny. I saw Bigfoot. Oh, you did? You did now, did you? You were the lucky one who saw Bigfoot. That's all it is. It's just people who want to feel important. Like me. Some people want to feel important. They say they saw Bigfoot. If you're Nick Moore, you spew your opinions into the ether on the internet to no one, and you create a cult of personality around yourself. Me, it's all me. The Nick Moore Show. Me. It's all about me, guys. Yeah, it is. It's all about me. Something that'll make you realize it isn't all about you. Drugs. It's a good little segue there. Should have gone to school for radio. A little Eazy-E on the radio. Yeah. What was that? I don't know what that was. I got this Eazy-E on the radio. Isn't that the worst when you have a song in your head, but you just can't? It's like you can maybe be like, yabbity-dabbity. You get like the rhythm or whatever. You're like, I'm close to this fucking melody or whatever the hell, but I can't summon it right now. And then the second all the pressure's off, boom, there it is. You're like, oh, singing in the rain or whatever, rapping Easy. Shout out to Easy. Where was I? What was I talking? I was talking about drugs. I was talking about drugs. To quote Nancy Reagan, drugs are bad. To quote Nick Moore, bullshit. I don't know. Drugs will ruin your life if you let them, but a lot of things will ruin your life if you let it, like your own mind. And that's why I like drugs. Or I'm not on drugs right now. I'm actually I'm in the process of taking a break from weed. I started smoking weed, and now 8 years later, I'm just like, oh, time for a break. Time to chill out on that. Whoops, you can't get addicted to weed 8 years later. Where am I? What year is it? Is it 2024 or 2019? Shit. I did so much drugs in high school, I don't know what year it is anymore. Whoops. And there might have been a pandemic, and I just numbed myself out of reality during that. I started off saying drugs are good, but now I'm really, obviously you can decide for yourself. I'm not being a good advocate or spokesman for drugs. There is no pro-drug lobby. Maybe there is now, sort of, maybe just people like me who have had their lives changed, who have had their lives saved by a spiritual experience. Yeah, drugs, weed, alcohol. There's a lot of different types of drugs. Weed's my favorite. I liked it so much, like I said, had to stop. Whoop. That's a rough one when you're like, shit, I like this too much. Fuck. Fuck. Too much. Yeah. It's just addiction. It's like anything. You can get addicted to food. You get addicted to fucking porn. You can get addicted to whatever. You get addicted to anything. You get addicted to some, I don't know, eating. There's fat people. They're addicted to food. Sorry, fat people. I'm on your side. Yeah, addiction sucks. It sucks. It's losing the war with yourself. And that's why I said no more losing the war of addiction. No more losing the mental battlefield of addiction. Some drugs will not make you addicted to drugs. Riddle me that, Nancy Reagan. Because you're all like, drugs are bad. Just say no. Don't do drugs. But that's just not I don't know. Just say no. What if I want to be cool? Come on, Nancy. You didn't factor that into the equation. What if all the cool kids are doing drugs and they're like, "Hey Nick, you want some drugs?" What am I going to do? Say no, be an asshole? Or am I going to say yes, let's fucking get down? Yeah, that's my real problem. Other than, well, now I'm talking about the war on drugs. You know, that's my problem with the war on drugs, is that, again, bringing it back to what I was saying earlier about the truth and me being in a quest in my life for the truth. It's not very truthful, the war on drugs. It's a bunch of bullshit and lies propagated by our mainstream propaganda. This idea that human beings don't use substances to alter their consciousness, or that human beings haven't been doing this since the dawn of life. And, you start to learn about the stoned ape theory, and you're like, holy shit, is psilocybin and psychedelics and is this why we have the consciousness that we have today? Just to browbeat you and go, just say no. Good. I remember there was this quote from back when I was starting to get into weed. The guy who was the attorney general back then was like, good people don't smoke marijuana. And I was just like, that's just like, what are you saying? You don't live in, the reality you live in is not the reality I live in. That is for sure. And that's, again, where, back to this quest for the truth, it's what reality is real? Is it is it your reality? Is it my reality? Is it a mix of realities? That's probably what it is. It's probably not just one thing. It's probably a combination of things, maybe. Existence. What is existence? What is life, guys? We're back to that. What is life? You want my take on it? Great. I'm glad you asked. Earthquake. Just kidding. That was earlier today. That woke me up. Fun fact. I was asleep, and then an earthquake woke me up. I was awoken to the shaking of the planet, and it made me feel so small in the grand scheme of the universe. What was I saying? The meaning of life? To quote a great man, George Carlin, the meaning of life is to just exist. It's to just be. There might not be a meaning. Maybe. You want to debate another person? It's the meaning of life is to give life meaning. Viktor Frankl. Yeah, this is philosophy class, guys. I'm modern day philosophy bro, Nick Moore. Just talking about my search for meaning. What does it all mean, guys? Yeah, meaning is important, and that's a very obvious sentence. You end up saying a lot of obvious shit when you're podcasting just to not have there be dead air, especially when it's just me. One day we'll have a guest. One day I'll make a friend. One day I'll make a friend, and I'll subject you guys to. I'll subject the 3 people listening to this to that. But in the meantime, it's just me rambling about the meaning of life. Yeah, George Carlin's got this great bit, and he's like, the big electron, and we just exist, and it just is, and you just are, and we just are. And I like that. I love that, actually. I think that's perfect. Life just is, and so are you, and so am I. And we as human beings, because we have, a lot of people say our superpower is the ability to thumbs and text, whatever. To me, the thing that makes us human is that we question everything. There's no other species on the planet. Every other species on the planet just exists. We're the only thing that asks why. So I guess to me, that's the meaning of life. Just to exist and give your life meaning. I think Viktor Frankl kind of nailed it. His whole psychological school of thought, logotherapy, finding meaning in life. And he says that's how you achieve your full potential as a human. He's like, I watched a clip about this the other day. He's like, the goal isn't to self-actualize. The goal is to find meaning. And then through that process, self-actualization is the result of that. So I feel like I'm giving a TED Talk now. This started about Bigfoot, and now I'm talking about the meaning of life. Yeah, I don't know. I just love that. The George Carlin routine where he's like, the big electron, it just is, and so are we. I love how he ended it too. He's like, thank you for just existing with me here tonight. Bang the microphone. Appreciate you, George, wherever the hell you are. The guy, the dude in the Cars movie. That was my first interaction with you. That was the first time my consciousness interacted with the consciousness of George Carlin. Watching the Cars movie as a child. Shout out to Owen Wilson. And George Carlin, of course, but you already knew that, or I was already giving him a shout out. Yeah. Existing can be a lot. It can fuck with you. It can fuck with your head. Fuck with my head for a long time. A long time. Still does. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I've figured anything out right now. Hell no. See, that's also the other problem. When you start this journey of spirituality and trying to find answers to big questions, you think you're gonna find an answer, but really you just find more questions, and you're just like, oh, it's like the never-ending chain of mailman. Who delivers the mailman's mail? Thank you, SpongeBob. But yeah. You know, and I've heard this talked about on the internet and podcasts before, the archetype of the fool, where you think, ooh, I'm just going to figure things out and it's going to be easy. And then you start and you go, whoa, maybe not. So yeah, I don't know. You take some magic mushrooms with me, take some LSD, and we'll figure something out about the nature of reality. I don't know what, but we'll figure out something. We'll get somewhere, you know, and that's what it's all about for me, right? Getting somewhere real. And there's no better way to get somewhere real than to frickin' take some mushrooms or whatever. And that's also the funny thing about those substances. And again, obviously, I was like, oh, bro, getting addicted to weed, bro? That's like, bro, dude, you can't do that. Only losers get addicted to weed, bro. Well, again, you know, not to reiterate what I said earlier, obviously. I guess it's just fascinating where you can get addicted to those things, but man, they really make it hard to do that. They're like, you gotta be wild if you want to do this all day, every day. Pot is something you want to do all day, every day. You smoke that shit, everything's okay. Everything feels better. It's great, but that's also why it's the devil. And, you know, I don't know if it's the devil maybe, but addiction is the devil. See, again, this is also the other thing. Drugs are just tools. And it's us as human beings who misuse those tools for their non-intended purpose. And we are the... Look, obviously, there's heroin, there's coke, there's fucking crocodile, or whatever the fuck that shit is out there that just rots away your flesh immediately. Excuse me. There we go. Yeah, obviously there's a spectrum of substances, and you know how bad they are for you. Lost my train of thought. See, again, don't smoke weed, guys. It's because this will happen. You're making a good point, and then it's just gone, and then it's a sail away, sail away, sail away. That's my thought, just sailing away like Enya. Fuck, what the hell was I saying? I don't know. Don't smoke weed. You'll lose your mind. All drugs are bad. No. Yes, we as human beings, we assign morality to these substances. These substances don't just exist as a good or bad thing. It's us as human beings. We can abuse them and misuse them, and you know that absolutely contributes to chemicals' perceived morality. 100%. Because again, it's a chemical. It's a chemical. It's not nefariously intending to make you feel bad or make you go to a lower state of consciousness than what you were intending to do. That's you. You have made the choice to misuse these tools and substances and and you're paying the consequences. That is what a lot of people take and twist and say drugs are bad, instead of we don't know how to use them. We're misusing these tools that were given to us by God, I don't know, by the universe. So yeah, I mean, when I was getting started in my consciousness expanding career using substances, the thing that drew me to weed was like, it's a plant. You know, it exists in the wild. And here's another point. You know, when the powers that be try to tell you that there's a thing that naturally occurs that you can't have, the only thing that should do is raise your eyebrows and make you do what human beings do. Ask questions and go, why? Why don't you want me to have this thing? If it's, it's dangerous, it'll ruin your life. Will it? Or will it save your life? Will it make you not a slave to the corporations? Will it make you see our existence for what it really is, as opposed to, say, a bunch of cultural reinforcements that were programmed into your brain from the motherfucking Disney Channel? Hey yo, mic drop, boom, Eminem, I'm Nick Moore, I'm making points. What? Society is a culturally reinforced hallucination. Drugs make you see that society's bullshit, and just society. We live in a society, bro. That's what psychedelics will make you realize. We live in a friggin' society. We do. We live in a society. Really, drugs might make you realize the Bill Hicks thing. Life is a ride, and you can change it whenever you want. Shout out to Bill Hicks, another great thinker, comedian, inspiration for sure. A guy who was like, I'm going to make you laugh, but I'm going to make you think about America. And I hope maybe that's what this show is a little bit too. All right. No, we don't. This show isn't about being serious. This show is about the search for Bigfoot and cryptids and the chupacabra and aliens. I want the aliens to show up just to prove me wrong. Do I believe in them? I mean, believe. It's like, do you believe in fucking Santa Claus? Do you believe in whatever? I don't know. Do I believe? Believe is a funny word. Do I believe that there are aliens? Do I believe in aliens? I believe in the infinity of the universe, and I believe that if the universe is infinite, life is infinite, and by that definition, there's something out there. I don't know. I guess I've been culturally brainwashed, because when someone says alien, I think of the big black eyes, somewhat humanoid-looking figure, gray skin. But even, that's just what someone in the 60s who took a lot of acid thought an alien looked like. What I think they are is probably just like an entity, a spiritual entity. I don't know. You guys ever seen Indiana Jones 4, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? That has something to do with aliens. I was too afraid when I watched it the first time because I was a youth, so I didn't see the ending with the aliens and the crystal skull or whatever. Maybe Steven Spielberg in that movie kind of explains it. I don't know. I should probably rewatch. Because Indiana Jones and like the Bible are basically like the same, and like human origin story and like the meaning of what everything is and how we're here today, obviously. So yeah, I don't know. I think the aliens, I guess the answer to do you believe in aliens? I do. I do believe in aliens. But this whole thing about, are they going to show up here? Are they going to fix all our problems? I mean, well, don't they have problems of their own? I don't know. Or I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that my big thing on the aliens is that until they show up, I'm not really trying to waste all the, because that's like, many people today are obsessed with them. But it's the existence of aliens is a non-falsifiable claim. You can't, I think so, right? You can't, there's, I don't know. That's more like the existence of God. That's a non-falsifiable claim. You can't prove or disprove that there is a God. So God is unscientific. Are aliens unscientific? Probably not, because there is evidence, excuse me, there is evidence for life on other planets, water or whatever, which is the building block of life. So, I mean, it's not even a leap of faith. If you live, today is April 5th, 2024, if you're alive today, then it is a part of the scientific consensus that there's something out there. People say alien, and here's a thought. Would we be excited if like a cow just rolled up out of it just showed up? Obviously we know what a cow is, right? It exists on the planet Earth. But I guess really the question I'm trying to pose is, when we as a human species say we want the aliens to show up, really what we want is, like, in a way, maybe God to show up. Maybe not God necessarily, but someone or something that has the answers to questions that we don't have. We're looking for someone or something smarter than us. So if by some miracle extraterrestrial life got to this planet, but it was dumber than us, then I don't know what would happen. Then I feel like that would be an existential human crisis, because obviously it's like you assume, like, all right, if they're rolling up here, they're more intelligent than us. I guess obviously if they have to appear out of the infinity of the universe, they understand more about the nature of reality than we do. Aliens. I don't know. Aliens. That's, are they out there? Are they not? Who knows? Now that I've started the Nick Moore Show, maybe they'll show up. They'll come visit, say, hey, Nick, we were waiting for you to start your program. Now we're here. Because of you, Nick, human beings have reached the capacity of trying to understand of what it is to be human. They can't understand anymore without our help. So I don't know. I guess aliens, to put a bow on this, is that in my view, Bernie Sanders, in my view, aliens show a human need for security and maybe in a sense authority, someone to give you the answer, someone to tell you right from wrong, someone to go, this is the way, this isn't the way, someone to guide you through life. I mean, maybe that's how we look at aliens. We go, you guys will show up and you'll fix all our problems. Who knows? But until then, it's just you and me. So if we got a problem, we better hash it out over a friggin' peace pipe. You know what I'm saying? It's the only way to deal with shit, I mean, yeah, we just gotta live. We gotta live one day at a time, and the only way to make it through this life is to love one another, peace and love, and to realize we're all in this together. We're all one. We are all one. That's the trippiest. So there's a few moments on psychedelics where you're like, whoa. The first one for me is that you expect. It's so trippy even just to articulate this. But you take a substance and you think, I live in this reality right now, and I've just eaten this thing, and it's going to take me to a different reality. But what you realize when you do that stuff a lot is that it takes you nowhere, but right where you started, right exactly where you were. When I used to say psychedelics is everything you've seen before and nothing you've seen before at the exact same time. Or it's everything you know, but just in a different way. And that to me is honestly probably the best way to articulate the psychedelic experience other than just doing it yourself. Like you just gotta jump off the deep end and go, I'm freaking Jerry Garcia, bro. Let's ride. Yeah, no, you realize that your life is the trip. You go, wait, I'm going to leave my life and go somewhere else. Nope, you're going to stay right here, and your life is going to keep on lifing it up, brother man. So that's definitely revelation number one from psychedelics. Your life is the trip, and it doesn't stop. You don't stop tripping. That's why also it's like, oh, you take psychedelics and you lose your mind. Well, maybe you do, Syd Barrett is a real person. But again, I'm not going to get into all this and go on a side tangent on that. But that whole story is fucking bullshit. This idea that this guy was just going too hard on drugs alone and just, look, if that were true and that was what happened, I would be saying don't do that. That's bad. Don't do that. Do not abuse these substances. The story of what they say happened to that guy is not what happened to him. I will stand by this. Syd Barrett is a fucking genius. And if you are a musician, if you're an artist in any way, listen to the songs, read the lyrics. Read those lyrics. If you are a songwriter, if you're a musician, I'm telling you, the way they flow, it's I've got a bike, you can ride it if you like. It's got a basket, a bell that rings and things to make it look good. Come on. If that shit, it just flows. It's like poetry. Look, that guy was a genius. And what happened was a bunch of losers who were on low vibration frequency were giving him a lot of drugs when he didn't even know he was on drugs. So yeah. Look, but what I was going to say earlier about, this idea that you take psychedelics and you can never come back. Well, after doing them, I completely disagree with that. I completely disagree with your premise of how that's set up, because for that to be the case, that line of thinking is trying to tell you that there is a base reality that is the one true reality, that if you leave that reality, you're fucked. I just disagree with that. What is reality? See, and that's why they don't want you to take these fucking drugs, because then you just go, what are you... Now, hold on a minute, Mrs. Health Teacher person trying to brainwash me. What really is going on here? Okay? The shit that scares you in the beginning, you're like, oh, you take acid, it's going to be in your spine, and then you'll start tripping again, and however long. Before you've done any drugs, you're like, shit, that sounds terrifying. But after you've taken acid, you're like, a free LSD trip? I don't have to pay for it, and it just happens? Amazing. Perfect. Awesome. Free drugs? What could be better? Guys, addiction is bad. Don't be a drug addict. Okay? Don't say, the one person listening to this, don't say, oh, I was listening to the Ginger in the Deadhead tea on YouTube, and he told me I could do all the drugs I want. I didn't say you could do that. I said these are a tool that you need to be responsible with, okay? You need to be responsible, okay? That's why I'm saying okay a lot. Okay. I'm Mr. Mackey. Earthquake again. I'm hitting the table and the camera's shaking. Sorry. Every time I do that, I'm just like, no, this has to be perfect. Stop. I hope it's perfect, guys. If you've made it this far, thank you. If you've genuinely made it this far in this insane asylum rambling, I can't thank you enough. Can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. I'm going to keep rambling as long as I can. I'm just going to keep going. That's how this program goes. How long is each episode going to be? Who knows? That's up to the universe to decide. That's up to the psychedelic experience. That's up to the psychedelic experience. This is a psychedelic experience. The Nick Moore Show is a psychedelic experience. Guys, I basically want you to be able to turn on this show instead of taking psychedelics. That's what I want. I want this to be as enlightening to you as an acid trip. Okay? That's my goal. Do you think we'll explore space in our lifetime, guys? I hope so. That would be cool. You know, I'm a big history fan. I'm a big history dork. One of my most favorite periods of history to read about. And as a child, it's so interesting thinking about my context with all of these events when I was younger, thinking about them as opposed to how I think about them now with the context of everything I know about, you know, what I believe, you know, having a different belief system, essentially, having the belief system, the belief system of when I was young. I mean, I've lived I'm like a cat. I've lived 12 lives. I've been like 4 different people, you know, most of them stupid, most of them useless, stupid, idiot losers who are not going anywhere. But when each of those past Nick Moores died, and we got one step closer to someone real. What the fuck was I just talking about again? Shit, space exploration. Are we? Oh yeah, and history. Oh guys, it's all coming back to me. Yeah, the colonization of the New World, North America, where I am right now. I'm filming this show in the great state of Massachusetts. Please don't, harass me about, you live in, I don't know. What would you harass? Whatever. You want to harass me about where I'm from? That's fine. That's totally okay. I'm not a asshole. I love everyone, okay? That's, we're redoing Massachusetts stereotypes. What the hell was why am I talking about the state of Massachusetts? That's because it's where I am. It's where I am right now. And it's because that's where the Puritans landed in the 1600s. And that, to me, is one of my favorite periods of history, the colonization of the New World. But, when you really learn about that period of history, when I learned about it when I was young, I was like, I've thought of it from a more conservative perspective where it's like, okay, we're playing the game of nations and we're playing the game of competing. At that period in time, it was literal kings and queens and whoever, authoritarian monarchs battling over our planet. Yeah, it's just a fascinating period of history, but really it's when you really realize what's going on, you're like, oh shit, these white people just rolled up, murdered everyone that was already here and was like, this is ours now. Thank you very much. So I mean, you're like, holy shit, my country was founded on genocide and and a bunch of crazy things, but also a bunch of good things too. And that's reality. You got to take the good with the bad. But it's, I guess it just on a personal note, it was fascinating to think how much I was enraptured with that period of history and just had no really conception about the human impact that it had on just a regular, like, what was it like to be, a member of a native tribe here. And then these people show up, and then, this is your house. This is my fucking house. What do you mean you live here? I live here, bitch. Like imagine if someone, again, going back to the aliens. I mean, that's literally what it was. Imagine the aliens just roll up here. They're like, yeah, you thought this was all yours? It's ours now, actually. And we have bigger guns, so we'll blow your brains out if you tell us otherwise. That's, when you realize that's how people have operated for hundreds of years, and you realize how stone cold people are and have been throughout all of history, you go, damn, man, that's crazy. That's the most stoner point I've ever made. I'm just like, history is, things happen in history, and sometimes if you do a little research on those things, you might go, wow, that was bad. It's the high. I swear I'm not high right now. The only high I'm on is life and sobriety. I'm not sober. I'm taking a break. All right, guys, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem, guys. I'm just taking a tolerance break, so the next time I smoke, it's even better. All right, guys, That makes sense, right? Don't ask too many questions. Okay. History. Human history. The evolution of humanity. History. Yeah. Martin Luther King had a quote about history. This is why I got my laptop here. I can pull this up. Exactly. The arc of Martin Luther King. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice, says Dr. King. I've heard some people say they disagree with that. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. You want me to tell you whether the world is becoming better or worse as time goes on? Hopefully it becomes better. I'm not gonna get on this microphone and spew out some cynical garbage. Be like, guys, you may think it's getting better, but it's not. Well, what did I just say about, we rolled up to this place. We were like, you live here? Maybe not. Here is our guns. Boom. I don't know. We used to operate like that. We're getting better, right? I don't know. There's some tragedies occurring in the world today. Human rights abuses for sure. But again, Confucius, good and evil. You can't have the good without the bad without the good, and they're interconnected in some fucking weird way. I don't know. Maybe that'll be the next time I take mushrooms. Be like, what is evil? Explain it to me, guys. Please. Someone who's evil, please leave a comment. Tell me why you're evil and how you are able to function as an evil person in the world. This is also the other thing, too, about morality. And it's just people fascinate me. Humans fascinate me. But, obviously, everyone thinks they're the good guy. No one really, unless you're like, I don't know. Who was a guy who was like, I'm a villain? Bill Cosby? I don't know. His whole thing was, I'm America's dad. So, he's like, drugging and date raping women. And he puts on this clean cut, public image of, oh, I'm the good guy. Everyone. Here's the ultimate example. Hitler thought he was doing the right thing. He, in his mind, wasn't the bad guy. He was the good guy. Which to me, that's mental illness. Because if you were, all right, there's a lot of stories about how he didn't want to see the final solution. He didn't go to visit the work camps. He didn't see that stuff, those atrocities that were committed by the Nazis. Maybe because if he saw it, he would have had to come to terms with, I am the villain. He is a fascinating figure throughout history. If you want to talk about a guy who, there's some photos of him and you're like, man, you just look evil, bro. Like, are you trying to look evil? I think the answer was yes. I think that was he wanted, I guess he was just a crazy guy. He wanted to take over the world. He wanted to be in charge of everything, which is another human power, the quest for power, another very human thing. We all want power. We all want control. What do I want control over? I want control over my own life. That's why I'm doing this program. I'm trying to empower myself to be able to be empowered like a beautiful, I don't know, like an empowered lady who's very empowered. Yeah, morality is a weird thing. I guess to bring it to Einstein, he said everything in this universe is relative. There's actually a school of thought called moral relativism. Maybe if I went to college, I could break this down for you, but I did not. I went to the University of Joe Rogan and the School of Hard Knocks. So I'm just going to Google moral relativism and maybe Google. Oh God, this is a lot of words. Describe political positions concerned with the difference. See, I love when the definition isn't a definition. It's just like a political thing that means things. What is it talking about? Let's find out. I don't know. This is a lot of words. David Hume. I don't know. Where's Martin Luther King? I don't know. I need people that make me feel safe and like this is intellectually correct. I don't know. Moral relativism. Is there... Well, all right. This is what a lot of religious folks say. They get their sense of morality from religion, which is... you can get your... Is it innate? Is it culturally reinforced morality? I don't know. That's kind of... It's another interesting question, another interesting debate topic that I'm debating here by myself. Basically, to put a bow on this is, just in case you're confused, never mind. I'm not talking about World War II. I don't know. I'm not getting canceled. It's episode 1. This is episode 1. See, there we go, Nick. Wow. Evidence of you being a slave to mainstream society. You're already afraid to speak your mind because you're afraid of what the New York Times is going to say, because the New York Times is going to watch this program. Absolutely. That's what's going to happen immediately. Speaking of time, guys, what is time? Let me pose that question to you. What is time? Because supposedly for me, it's been ticking for a long time. And I got no clue what the hell time is. Is that an airplane or some shit? I don't know if you can hear that on the mic. God damn. It's loud as hell. Yeah, what is time? Another great George Carlin routine. I can't speak English. Another great Carlin routine. What is time? What is time? What is the meaning of life? Are there aliens? What is evil? Who is Nick Moore? What is the Nick Moore Show? What is time? These are the questions that will be answered by the end of this program. Yeah, time is a real that's one when you start to think about it, you go, whoa. I'm 22. I've been alive for 22 years. That's what that means, right? Time, feels like time is relative to you for sure. Time can feel like it's flying sometimes, and other times, like right now, when every painful second is dragged out, we're doing time 1 second at a time right now. But sometimes time just is timing away. It just keeps timing on down. Time was invented by humans to track reality, right? Makes sense. Time is the fourth dimension. That's what I've also heard other people smarter than me say. What does that mean? I don't know. But time is the fourth dimension. What does Google say if I do time? Let me young Jamie time. If I just Google time, it says it's 6:30. That's true. What is it? It's 6:30. Okay. See, exactly. Is it just that easy? Or is it deep and philosophical, and the passing of each moment is... what is a second? How do you measure the passing of seconds? And I don't know. I don't know. That's my answer. What is time? No fucking idea. I don't know. It's time to get a watch. Hey yo. That's what it's time for. Well, okay. Also, just in case you guys were confused, this program is a pro-human program. I'm very pro people. Like I said earlier, there are atrocities happening today in this planet, and we got to rise up. We got to rise up and say no, and say yes to peace, and no to violence and hatred, and say yes to love, like a bunch of fucking hippies. You goddamn hippies. What are you talking about? Try to love each other. Get back to work. Basically. Yeah, I'm pro-human. I'm pro people's rights. What's it to you? All right? I'm better than you. Guys, I've destroyed my ego from all the psychedelics. I'm finally better than you. Boom. I saw that. That was a meme I saw on Instagram. I didn't write that one. I wish I did. I didn't. I'm not that clever. Yeah, guys, I believe in the right things. I'm better than you. You can bow down to me. No, it's not about believing in things. It's about why you believe in things. That's really how did you get to that point, Again, I don't know, going back to evil people. Say, whatever, I don't know, what's a good example of something I can say that's not, all right. You're evil if you don't want to legalize weed. You're evil. You're just evil. You're nefarious, okay? And here's my reasoning why. Because you want the government, you want the big, scary government to tell people how to live their lives and what they can and cannot put in their consciousness. You're anti-freedom. That's why you're evil. If you are against freedom, you're evil, okay? Here's the problem with what I'm doing right now. This is McCarthyism. This is not being intellectually honest. This is just saying my side is right all the time and the other side is wrong. What this show is really about is about bringing people together. We're all dying. I don't know if you knew that, but one day you will die. And that's not a threat. That's not a whatever. That's a promise. Again, it's like, what is the truth? What are the truths of this life? That's one of them, that you don't have forever. And we have a limited amount of time to live. So in that limited amount of time, you better be real, you better be who you are, and you better bring it every day. That's really what the hell. That's what we got in this life. All we're all getting is older. All we're all doing is dying slowly, some faster than others. Rest in peace. I'm not going to say any names on this program, but there was a friend that I had that I wasn't too close with, but a guy that I knew who, just one day freaking, I don't need to give an anecdotal example, but I have been reminded that we are going to die we're going to die. That's it. We're all going to die. So you better live as much as you can before that happens, because it could happen fucking right now. Again, like I said, I'm 22. I'm young. I have this, I'll be alive for a long time. Maybe so, maybe not, Death isn't to be feared, though. It's to be respected. It's to be respected and understood that that's our way. That is really, fuck the psychedelics. That just gives you a different perspective on this reality. That is leaving this reality and going to whatever the hell else is out there, which is, mind-boggling, to say the least. I hope when I die, I get a second chance at this bitch. That's what I hope. Some people say, you live your life until you get it perfect. Thank God. I hope that's it. Because, man, I fucked up. Man, there'd be a lot of shit, I'd do differently. But that's life. That is life. And you can either be real with that and go, I fucked up, but I'm not that guy anymore. Or you can give up, And I had given up on life for a little bit, but who wants to be that fucking guy? Who wants to be that fucking, poor me, I'm a victim? Fuck you. And some people are victims, right? I'm not trying to take away from people who have actually had like bad things happen to them, right? But at the end of the day, look, I'm only speaking for myself right now. At the end of the day, sometimes you just got to go, you know what? Life hurts. Life sucks sometimes. But again, Saturday nights are for fucking fighting. You got to get up and you just got to go. And you just got to not give two fucks. So what's the meaning of life? That's the meaning of life. To make it full circle, bring it back around. That's what they call a callback in the show business, in this business of show. Am I in show business? No. Am I? I don't know. I'm Nick Moore. I'm not trying to be anyone or anything. I'm just trying to be me. That's what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be Nick Moore on the Nick Moore Show, and I'm trying to make my life as enjoyable as I can until I draw my last breath. That's what I'm about, And if you want to be about that with me, and on this present moment that we got right here, right now, right the hell on. That's really what it's all about. That's what this show is. That's what this show is about. This show is just about being here, right now, and just living it up, because that's all we got right here, right now, and this reality until they turn out the freaking lights on us. So yeah, I feel like I've taken this on a very morbid, dark turn, but I don't want it to be. I want to, don't be sad, get glad. And really, like I said, these big existential things, I don't believe they're to be feared. They're to be respected and understood, and they should inform how you live day to day, That's one of the biggest questions I pose to myself is, if you died right now, if you died tomorrow, what would be the thing you regretted the most? What would be the thing that you wish you did? What would be, it's to think that you'll no longer, it's a scary thought to think that you're going to die, to think that you're not going to exist anymore. But it's whatever we were before we were born. We were that, and then we're born, and now we live and we die, and then maybe we go back to whatever we were before. Maybe it's like maybe it's like that. Maybe it's like, hey, it's a circle. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm just staring at what is time on my Google right now. And Bigfoot. Yeah, Bigfoot. Bigfoot means people want to matter. That's what Bigfoot means. You see some crazy dude and his crazy wife or whatever on there finding we are the Bigfoot people, and we find big. Look, God bless, all right? If that's what you want to do with your life, God bless. I am not here to tell anyone how to live your life at all, period. And please don't get it twisted. I might even forget that. I might say, do this, not that. Never listen to me. Don't listen to me. Listen to yourself. That's what this world really should be. Fuck telling other people what to do. That's authoritarian bullshit. All right? The only time you should tell someone not to do something is if they're going to hurt someone else. That's it. That's the only time you ever go, don't do that, is if they're going to hurt someone. If they're going to hurt themselves, that's their choice. Anyway, people want to matter. People want to feel important. People want to feel like they're contributing to society. That's what Bigfoot is, 100%. And it's just, when you see these people who are like, I saw him, he came out of the brush, and I gave him a cookie. He ate it from. It's like, why are you lying to all of us? What are you lying about? What is this really about? And why do you think we're all going to believe you that you found Bigfoot? Why do I keep going back to Bigfoot? What does Bigfoot existentially mean for Nick Moore? I have no fucking idea. I don't know. I'm a Scotsman, so I should be more about the Loch Ness Monster. I mean, look at me. I'm right out of central casting for a pasty dude from the Scottish Isles. I freaking invented the Loch Ness Monster. Yeah, the cryptids. I don't know. People. If Bigfoot was real, where the hell is he? Why isn't he here right now? I don't know. That's my only take on Bigfoot. Sasquatch. They do say that there was they found the bones of a Bigfoot from like way back in the day, the prehistory. That's the interesting thing about Bigfoot. They think it did exist at one point in time, which is, what is it? Yes, a Gigantopithecus. So they have found bones of this thing, but this idea that it's walking around today, Gigantopithecus is hiding at the Chipotle. It's like, don't tell me, don't rat me out, guys. That'd be a great premise for a sitcom, a 90s era sitcom. Just Bigfoot working at a fast food joint. It's Bigfoot working at McDonald's. Oh, Bigfoot, you silly goose or whatever. I don't know. It was going somewhere. Bigfoot. A Bigfoot trap. See, this is a problem. If you're dedicating this amount of time, energy, effort, and resources to the capture of Bigfoot, again, I'm not telling you what to do, but it might be time to eat some mushrooms. That's what it might be time to do. You might have too much time on your hands. And psychedelics will help you with that situation. It'll fill up all your free time. That's for sure. Well, I've been rabbling. I just combined rambling and I don't even know what. You can tell I've got a great grasp of the English language. It's perfect. That's why I've decided to be a professional talker, because I'm so good at talking. The words, they just roll off my tongue like velvet. It's perfect. You just want to shut your eyes and go, oh, Nick, weave me a beautiful web of words. Weave me a concoction of phrases that just sound so pleasing. I'll never forget this. One time I said I was in high school, right, as you do, and I just said a sentence. Like, I wasn't even talking to this girl. I was just in her presence, and I was talking to, like, some dudes, because that's what I did back then. I was like, oh, I'll just be near the attractive woman, and then maybe, like, I don't know, by the grace of God, they'll go, like, I pick you, instead of, anyway. I just said a sentence, and then the sentence was, I wish I could remember the sentence verbatim. But all I know is that homie just said the sentence back to me and was like, what even do you, what does that mean? What do you say? Whoa, those are some big words. I don't know. Now I'm trying to jerk myself off being like, oh, I am a good talker or whatever. No, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not. But I don't know. The moral of, this is the story, right? The story is that I was being me, just hanging out near some people, that I should have, whatever. Look, all right, what am I? Okay. Long story short, communication is key. And I think you might have I might have explained that to you, not through saying that, but through my inability to just communicate that to you. But yeah, the moral of the story I was trying to tell is that it's kind of like the Donald Trump thing, where they came out and said that he communicates at like a 3rd grade level or whatever. If you try to sound smart, maybe that will make you sound smart, but unless you actually know what the hell you're saying, it doesn't mean anything. And you could be making the best point ever, But if the people you're talking to have no idea, they don't they hear the words you're saying, but when they land in their heart and soul, it doesn't mean anything, you're fucked. And that was the big lesson for me. That was a moment in my life where I was like, shit, am I ever going to be able to communicate? Am I stupid? I feel stupid right now rambling about this. So you guys like Tom Brady? You guys like the Patriots? Yeah, sports has been one constant in my life. That's for sure. Sports and the will to win. I wish neither of my parents are really into sports. They didn't when I was young. They didn't really like. I don't know. My mom likes to watch it, but doesn't really like. I don't know. She's not really going to break down like the 4-6 defense or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Talk about, well, they were playing some nickel and then we had to switch over to some, maybe instead of playing nickel, we're playing some 3-4, maybe then again some 4-6, put in there. We were trying to blitz them. I don't know. That's how I think about sports. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. So sports is, the Patriots has been a constant in my life, and if you live in New England, they're just a part of existing here. But the lessons, I enjoy, I enjoy where I'm from. I like New England. I like Massachusetts. I want to get out and see the world. That's. Again, like I was saying, we're all going to die. So before I die, I'd like to see as much as possible. And one thing I've said before, and I'll say it again, is that I think, even when you're messing around, you'll shit on a place like Mississippi or whatever, fuck you, Mississippi. But even there, it's like there's some place cool everywhere. There's something interesting everywhere. There's something worth seeing everywhere. So it's like I don't know. I was just picking on Mississippi because you're easy to pick on. But this idea, I hear some people be like, I'm never leaving where I'm from. I'm staying where I'm at and never leaving. Like my mom tells me about people she knows who have never left the town they grew up in. And it's like that exists. How are you not just left wanting more out of life? I don't know. But I don't know what the hell I was talking about before, how I segued into travel. I think I was talking about New England and the Patriots. Yeah, there's something to do everywhere. There's something cool to see everywhere, And there's this logical fallacy that gets pushed around, oh, the party's in Houston, oh, the party's in frickin' Austin, the party's in LA, the party's in wherever the fuck. And it's basically wherever you are, the action isn't, and wherever you isn't, the action is. And again, it's just not this whole FOMO thing, this whole fear of missing out, I like how I said the acronym and then I said the full thing because, that's how that works, right? Yeah, I don't know. That perplexes me how some people just feel honestly, God bless. Maybe I'd be happier if I didn't feel this need to be like, I got to go out there and see the world and see things. If you were just like, maybe I'll just smoke some Marlboros and, chill at the frickin' harbor. You're like, whatever, I don't know. What makes us us? Why do some feel the need to see the world and travel and do things and others feel the need to do nothing? Why, Who knows? Is it nature? Is it nurture? It's probably both. Who knows? I don't know, but I'd like to find out. And that's why I'm doing this show. Again, I'm on the quest for truth. If you got some truth, like this show sucks, put it in the comments below. I can take it. I have thick skin. Famous last words. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be reading the comments out of fear of all the things you're saying about me right now. Ooh, just thinking about it. Not good. Yeah, that's another lie. You're like, I don't care what other people think of me. I'm cool. I I'm past. I'm above the fray. Me worrying about other people's opinion of me? What are we, in 8th grade? Come on. And then, I don't know, you see someone you don't even know say, you're a friggin' loser. And you're like, oh, shit. Fuck. Or maybe it doesn't affect you. I don't know. There's only one way to find out. There's only one way to find out. That was a good pause. Good pause as I reflect on my life right there. Just go, shit. What do they think of me? I don't know. All I know is something about Bigfoot. All right, now I'm just staring at Bigfoot. Get Bigfoot out of here. Get all these cryptids out of here. The Westboro Baptist Church. Get out of here. You're crazy. My open tabs. Extraterrestrial life. Unidentified flying object. Oh. It's a phantom. Oh. Oh, excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Oh. I did that for you. Don't worry. Well, I've been rambling a lot about drugs, about having fun, about enjoying life. And that's all well and good, guys, but you want to know the only way you're going to get anywhere in life? Discipline and hard work, all right? That's the only way. And that's the balance of this existence, to live a disciplined existence to your goals, to be disciplined to, again, your goals, to what you want to accomplish, but to enjoy life. That's the balance. To me, that is the balance. And that's the balance I'm trying to find in my life, where I'll smoke a joint. I don't care. I'll take some mushrooms. I'll expand my consciousness. But will I do heroin or cocaine? Absolutely not. No, I will not. Never have, never will. I'm afraid of it. It's killed all the people I love and respect and have admired throughout history, or most of them. And you can just find the things that those substances do. There's a better alternative out there that's not going to ruin your life. Like Coke, just drink some coffee, bro. You're such a drug addict that you feel the need to do powder cocaine? Really? You couldn't just drink an espresso? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. It's the sober lifestyle. Stimulants up the ass. Just coffee and cigarettes nonstop. That's your new coffee and cigarettes, constantly, just never ending. Coffee and cigarettes. That's not what I'm on though. I'm fucking raw dog in life right now. I am straight edge life right now, guys. And you can tell it's going swimmingly. You gotta exercise. You gotta take care of your body. You gotta be healthy. You can't just be sitting around, falling victim to your vices all day. It's gotta be a balance. It's gotta be a mix. Here we go. There's an Oscar Wilde quote, which I love. That guy, I haven't read any of his great works. I should take the time to do that. I've seen some of his quotes. One of his quotes that he's had that has spoken to me the most is everything in moderation, including moderation. You gotta ball out every now and again, but you also gotta live a life of temperance and moderation, and you gotta worry about your health and exercise and diet and spirituality and meditation. And sometimes the drugs can go together with, self-actualization. And what I mean by that more specifically is you can use psilocybin and or LSD and or other psychedelics to help you have a spiritual experience that can be extremely beneficial to your life. That is how drugs can contribute positively. They can obviously also, like I said, addiction can take away, can be a vice, contribute negatively. But you just you got to be well-rounded. You got to have goals. That's a good way to tell whether or not certain things are a vice or if they really are a problem or not. Because if say, okay, I want to be here. I want to be at this, when I'm this old or whatever, I want to be at this point in my life. If I want to do X or whatever the hell, And then if you have this marker to measure yourself against, you can very easily see, okay, is this fucking up my life or is it contributing to it? Is it enhancing my life? So yeah, I mean, I feel like I've just been preaching in the beginning the most of this, like, party, bro, get fucked up, do whatever. And I feel like that's honestly where I've gone in my life. But again, that only is worth it when you are disciplined. It's more worth it when you're disciplined. You feel better. You enjoy it more instead of just living this hedonistic lifestyle, which slowly just degrades into addiction and then it degrades into suffering, essentially. You're turning joy into suffering. And don't blame, again, something I've done in the past, don't blame the substance. Don't blame the people around you. Blame yourself. Blame the person who made all these decisions and got you, me, yourself into this mess, Drugs can just be a scapegoat. Drugs can be a scapegoat, and sometimes they're the correct scapegoat, like very easily. Sometimes it's like, oh, he was normal before he started doing heroin. Now he does heroin all day. He's a drug addict. That's a very clear cause and effect, right? I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, other than just be healthy, guys. Be healthy. You'll make me happy. You'll make yourself happy. You'll make your future self happy. And you'll feel better about yourself. Hit the gym, guys. You gotta be a wellness bro, just like me. Hit the gym. You gotta pump iron all day, every day. Can't you tell? Woo! Yeah. Woo! But that's not even what it's about. It's about being functional as you get older. It's about, as some older people say, aging gracefully. Really what it's about is about beating age-related decline. That's a scary graph. If any of you people are 30, you think you're young, you think you still have time. Nope. The decline has already begun. So, I mean, let's pull this graph up. Age-related decline. It's excuse me. Reasoning, spatial orientation, perceptual speed, numeric ability, verbal memory. So this looks more mental. But so obviously, dementia, Alzheimer is a real thing. I was personally affected by it. My grandmother had it. May she rest in peace. That's, I saw it greatly affect her life. Alzheimer's is terrible. It fucking sucks. I mean, you watch someone waste away. That'll have you looking for answers for sure. You watch that. You'll go, what is our mind? What is reality? What is any of this? Besides the point, muscle atrophy is a real thing. So obviously I just read, inductive reasoning, spatial orientation, perceptual speed. That's a lot of like your mind slowing down as you get old. And as this graph outlines, it's like your peak for most of these things is in your early to late 30s, and then from your peak is, yes, your peak for most of these things is on. It can be, when you're like my age right now, you're in your young 20s. So that's all. See, this is another. I feel Joe Rogan saved my life in a way. How? Oh, well, let me tell you how. When I was in high school and they were trying to brainwash me just with all like the get a job and work for a corporation until your heart explodes or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that was my fault, listening to what the teachers said, and I didn't do enough time trying to friggin' talk to cool people. But shit, I just got too real. I forgot what I was trying to say. Oh, yeah, how Joe Rogan saved my life. So, how he saved my life in ways screwed my life. But again, it wasn't him, it was me. He's a great resource. I love and respect that guy. He's a homie. Inspiration for this show. Thank you, Joe. One day I hope to meet you. Really appreciate everything you've done. And being a kid from Boston, watching you fucking rule the world, it's like, holy shit, maybe. Not like, again, like I said, though, I wasn't bullshitting earlier when I said I didn't want to be anyone or anything. I'm not trying to do anything or anything with this. I'm just trying to make a living. That's it. I'm just trying to, I just want to feed my family. Even though I don't have a family, I just want to feed my family. That's it. Age-related decline is a real thing. And if you want to beat that, you should go to the gym. You should exercise. And that's what Joe Rogan drilled into my head. And I felt like I got the Dead Sea Scrolls when I listened to his podcast and I was in high school and I was like 18 or 16. And I was like, holy shit, if I start lifting right now, and if I start lifting right now and I don't stop and make it a part of my life, then like you're set, you know? Weightlifting will change your life. It will. It'll change your life because only you can do it. To quote a great man, Henry Rollins, only you can lift those weights. Only you can do it. And it'll prove to you that you're capable of more than you think you are. Another good thing, 100 pounds is always 100 pounds. No matter what the hell is going on in your life, the world could be totally on fire, burning, ash, rubble, disaster, the end times, whatever. 100 pounds is 100 pounds. The consistency that you can give yourself in your own life by lifting weights is huge. It gives you a routine. It gives you something to do and aim for, and it helps you look better and feel better. And you have practically more, for practical use, you have more strength. So life is just easier. So, I mean, the laundry list of benefits from exercise, it's just like, why? It's just like, why aren't you? You have to do it. You got to exercise. Oh, what did I say? I'm not telling anyone how to live your life. Won't do it. I'm not telling anyone who or what to do, but I'm telling myself, exercise, because you feel better, and you just feel mentally better, too. It's like, you go to the gym, and you go there not only to get in shape and to feel better and be healthier and do all that, but to get your head right. It's meditation. It's therapy in a way. I mean, it's not really, therapy is like talking to someone. It's meditative, and it's a challenge. And it's a way to prove to yourself, I can do this. I can get shit done. I can set a goal for myself, and I will accomplish it. Not, oh, maybe. No, you get up, you do it, you put in the work, and then over time, you will your reality to be what you want it to be. So, I mean, yeah, lifting weights, I'd almost put it in there as like a psychedelic level of importance in my life. I mean, it changes your life, and it's a part of my life. I'm not taking psychedelics every single day of my life. I wish I could. But again, like I said, that's a special thing. It's a sacred thing, and everything in moderation, including moderation. Don't overdo it with that stuff. But weightlifting is a part of my life, and discipline is a part of my life, and working hard, like making that, yes, every day you get up and you have a task, and you've tasked every day. It's not like Jimmy from South Park. Every day you get up and it gives you purpose. That's what it does. You say, okay, I may not have someone who gives a fuck about me. It might just be me alone, but you want to know what? I have something to do for me. I am giving myself a reason to get up and go. And that is a very powerful thing. So if you can learn to make that stuff come from within instead of coming from an external source, then boom, that skill in and of itself is what's going to help you, as opposed to building muscle or whatever. Just I've heard it articulated this way. I'd rather not, but here I go, muscle. Just that discipline. Just the discipline to go, maybe I don't want to do this, or maybe I do want to do this, but I'm nervous, or I'm trepid, or there's some part of me telling me no. It's just shut that fucking voice up and do it. Just do it. The hardest part is just showing up. Just show up. That's half the battle. And then the other half is everything else. So just get there. Just get there, kids. Just get there. Just fight. Just never stop. That's Walter White. I love Breaking Bad. One of my favorite shows of all time. For many reasons, I love that show. There's a scene where Walter White is doing chemotherapy and he's talking to another character who was recently diagnosed with cancer, and he's playing the victim. He's playing poor me. And obviously this is a TV show, but this character has a good reason to be playing the victim. He is diagnosed with cancer. And the Walter White character is listening to this other character talk, and he's like, I was going to do this. I had a wife, a business, whatever. My life is about to start, and now I have this disease, and I don't know what to do. And basically, I'm fucking it up a little bit. I wish I could remember it exactly. But basically what Walter White is like, he's like, that's a load of horse shit. You have lied to yourself that you're not in control. And now you believe the lie you told yourself, so you're living that out. The Walter White character in that scene is like, fuck that. You get up there and you fucking... I swear this is from that scene, but he's like, you get out there and you kick that bastard as hard as you can in the teeth. Maybe he's saying that to Jesse when Jesse's all fucked up. I don't know. But the Walter White character, before he loses all morality, is a fascinating guy, because it's like, this is a guy... I very much relate to Walter White. This is a guy who is just kind of like, I'll just stay there, not really say anything, do anything. I'll just be here, exist. And then eventually he's dealt a shit hand. And he goes, in the beginning, okay, I'm gonna do something because I'm a good guy, and now I'm just talking about Breaking Bad. It's a great show. You guys should watch it, all right? I'm telling you, watch it with a notebook out, and you'll be like, holy shit, I'm seeing things I've never thought I'd see before. It's crazy. You watch that show, it's like reading the Bible or some shit. What the fuck was I saying? Damn it. Walter White. I don't know. The Walter White character is just like, you don't give a fuck what anyone says. You don't give a fuck what happens to you in this life, in the world. You just go out there and you fight. You fight every day and you battle for you, because no one else will. You got to be your own advocate. And that's why that's one of the messages of that show that I loved and has stuck with me the most, and that's why I'm coming out today, guys. I've started my own meth empire, okay, guys? So if you want that crystal blue persuasion, you can hit me up, ring my line. I've got all the good methamphetamine. I was inspired by Walter White. Yeah, it's a great show. A lot of people with cancer say oh my God, I'm so stupid. A lot of people with cancer say they like that show. It inspires them. I've seen that. I don't know. I had a family member who had cancer. I'll have to ask her if Breaking Bad spoke to her on that level. I don't know. But it spoke to me. It spoke to me. Being like, damn, bro. I got to be like Walter White. I got to get up and fight every day. I got to fight for my right to party, yo. So what is time, guys? Yep. Yeah, Breaking Bad. Tomorrow, people. Ziggy Marley stuck in my head. All right. I got my little cheat sheet of topics right here. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is where all the good stuff comes from right here. It's all right. We can just take a moment and be quiet for a little bit. We can take a meditative moment, right? A moment of silence, if you will. I'm going to take a swig of water. That would be really funny if you can't see me when I do that, or if like you can see me, just take a sip, but just go off to the side. Just be like, where's Nick going? Where's Nick? Hello, I'm here. I'm right here. Yeah. Yeah. Tom Brady also had the will to win. He also showed me what it takes to be a successful person. He was like, you just got to work hard. You got to have discipline and work hard every day, and you too could be a Super Bowl champion. Thank you. I hope I can be a Super Bowl champion. Okay, Super Bowl. Super Bowl. This is my Super Bowl right here. The Nick Moore Show. This is my Super Bowl. Nice. Oh, there we go. I sound a little better. Good job. You only waited 90 minutes to adjust the microphone. Red Dead Redemption is one of my favorite games of all time. That's just a Nick Moore. This is just a core of my identity at this point. I mean, and that game's also about, it's like, what is society and life, and what would you do for your family? What would you do for the ones you love? I feel like that's another. It's kind of a hoax. That premise is overused, and it makes it seem hokier than it is. It's actually like probably the most powerful emotion on the planet Earth. And I've heard it articulated. I was watching something where people were like, I think it was Cosmos, where I was watching that, and they were like, there's people suffering on the planet Earth right now, and you don't care about it. Why? Because they're not your family. So we have this bias towards people we're related to and are close to or whatever, which is a fascinating point, because, I mean, it's right. There's so many people suffering right now. Right now. Here we go. This is a good time to bring this up. I saw suffering up close more than once in my life, but the most recent time I saw suffering up close, just on the streets of New York City. This past New Year's Eve, I went to Madison Square Garden for a rock concert. It was the greatest experience of my life. Took hella mushrooms, was reincarnated multiple times. Thank you, Fish. And the mystery man who gave me those mushrooms. Thank you. To make a long story, well, no, fuck that. I got as much time as you got. This is the story, party people. The story is, I mean, you can see I'm rocking Grateful Dead right now. So it's like, all right, in high school, I was lost artistically. I love art. Art moves me. Art is what back then kept me going. That's also in a way why I'm doing this. Back then, when I was all fucked up and I was like, I don't really know what I want out of life. I'm confused with who I am and what I want to be, and just who are the people around me, and a lot of, questions like that. It made me get disillusioned, and I fell into a bad trap of thinking, oh, there's only negative people around me, bad people around me. There's a bunch of people who are vapid and soulless, and they're caught up in this mainstream bullshit America. It's all about money, money, money. Fuck everything else. So really the problem was me. I was the person choosing to focus on those types of people. That's really what happened. But what I thought was, I live in a world that doesn't want me. I exist in a reality where there's nothing for me out there, which is, a very self-important, you get the world, Nick, but no one else does. So, how does this tie to New Year's Eve? It makes sense. Trust me. Trust me, it all makes sense. Well, does it make sense in your own head, Nick? Shit, I don't know. I became disillusioned with the mainstream of art, and mostly music. I was kind of like, all the music I like is older. There's not people being authentic. That's all I care about is authenticity. The reason why I don't like the modern state of rap today is because it's a bunch of horse shit. It's a bunch of fucking literal losers peddling their bullshit life. Look at me with all the girls and the money, and my life is great. Is it? Is your life so awesome that you have to record it and shove it in my face and go, wow, my life is so good? Or are you just one of the most insecure, the insecurity in hip hop and rap today is off the charts. It's all just people being, look at me, I matter, I'm important. That's it. I saw right through all that garbage. Look, are there some good artists doing good work out there today? Absolutely, yes. I think of Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City album. That's an album where he's talking about real shit. And it's not just, I got big booty bitches and money and hoes or whatever. Look, I'm not saying there isn't a moment or a time for that, but what I saw was a lot of like my peers be drawn to that as like their main, like, this is my main source of artistic inspiration. And I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Probably yes. But like, yeah, so basically art like that made me go, ugh, the state of art today is in the toilet. Like what happened? But then I'm droning on, I guess, a little bit about this to make a long story short. But then I found jam bands and I found rock and roll, and I already loved rock and roll, and I already loved motherfucking Jimi Hendrix. I heard Jimi Hendrix when I was in high school, and it was over. I was like, yeah, all of you guys are doing something, but I just heard this guy fucking melt my brain with Voodoo Child. Listen to that. That was nice. That was great. Listen to Voodoo Child, Slight Return, and then tell me Moneybagg Yo or whoever the fuck, I don't even know. Tell me anyone is better, and I'll call you a literal psychopath. I'll call you a soulless person. I'll call you a robot that is like, do you have a heart in there? Do you have a heart that beats, that feels things? Because that was a guy who, his art was about something. His art was about feeling something. It was real, instead of just going to wherever the frig to hear some loser go, the Zannies, the Zannies, the Zannies, the Zannies. When I learned that was a real rap song, that like that, fuck that. I knew that was a real rap song. Once I learned that was the lyric, that's all homie's saying. He's just like Xanax, Xanax, Xanax. I'm like, man, I think you might have a drug problem. It says more about me that I was like hearing that. I was just confused. I was like, what the fuck is all this garbage, yo? So I don't know. Art is important. Art means something. It means something to this society. And when you worship that garbage art, I lose respect for you. And I go, oh, you're an idiot, you know? But the mistake I made was, instead of just saying, oh, see, all right, this is before I knew about good music, before I knew about Fish, before I knew about rock and roll, and about people who actually care about their art. And it's not that they care about their art, they care about their fans. They don't disrespect their fans by pushing out some mediocre derivative crap that you've already heard before. And listen, I'm not just getting up on a soapbox being like, I hate rap. I love Tupac. When I didn't even understand Tupac until more recently. And then I finally I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been looking for in rap. This is someone who is rapping about society and talking about the situation he came from is what made me who I am today. And if you supposed conservative, upper middle class white people who say you don't like the ghetto, you don't like me, well, I'm a product of that environment. So do something to address that environment. Are any of these mumble rap fucking retarded fucking losers, do they have any point about society? Do they have any point about anything other than just the basic id of what you already, the basic desires that are already in your brain? Every human on the planet already basically wants like some sort of love and affection and meaning and stability in society. When you get through all the bullshit of the diamonds, the chains, the jewelry, the big booty hoes, or when you sift through all the bullshit of that and find out what it's really all about, it's what I said. It's about meaning and security and those things. That's you're taking those. This is why I hate all that music, because you're taking important spiritual, some of the most beautiful things about what it is to be alive and be human, and just ruining it. And that's your right, freedom. I'm not going to tell you to listen to whatever or do whatever. We live in a free society. Freedom is number one. But you will not catch me listening to that fucking crap. I mean, unless I am very messed up or other people are making me listen to it. Like, you know, and I could go on and yeah, whatever, But to connect that to what I was saying earlier, because of that, I became disillusioned with mainstream society and mainstream culture and whatnot, and I was like, okay, this is all very lame. So I just was always left wanting more artistically. And then I had heard about Phish from a friend of mine, but I'll be honest, he didn't really do me any favors with trying to get me into them. And again, it's like my mentality with art is very different than other people's. So I'm not going to hold that against homie. But I don't know. All of that music was what I was looking for. It clicked with me. It's also about having a spiritual experience. I mean, a lot of the folks there are using psychedelic substances, and they are asking a lot of the same questions about life, society, and whatever that I am. But again, it's also just about it's about all that, but it's about having a good time. And that's the art I want. I want art that is fun, that is about joy, that is about uplifting people, bringing people together, having a good time, but it's also about someone with an incredible talent who is so good at something you want to experience that. One of the best things I've ever heard is like, oh, if you have a true gift, it's you should look at it like, oh, you're bad for not sharing this with the world, which is kind of a very egocentric view, right? But for some folks who are like true prodigies, I don't know, whoever you want to put in there. For me, it's Jerry Garcia, Jimi Hendrix, but I don't know, Taylor Swift, whatever prodigy is out there, if they just, did their art by themselves, and in a way, I can, see the application of that, where it's like, share this with other people, but if they don't want to, then, maybe that's not what it's about or whatever. But yes, my New Year's Eve was about special art that means something to me on hella mushrooms. But how was I going to connect that with human suffering? Oh, I'm glad you remembered. Well, all right. My backstory was I gave up on art. I was confused about art. I found a lot of great comedians that spoke to me and were talking about the issues I cared about and saw was like, this is messed up in society. And there were people talking about it, and I was like, oh, thank God I'm not crazy. There are people talking about how we have corporate overlords and the corporations are our masters. And what about freedom from corporations? Because everyone in this country is so fucking obsessed with freedom constantly. Well, where's the freedom from the fucking goons on Wall Street? Anyway, I got into that art and I felt fulfilled. I was like, holy shit. I felt stupid. I was like, there have been people doing the thing I've been looking for this whole time. That's another great life lesson. Well, you're throwing a pity party for yourself. There's probably some people out there doing exactly what you want to be doing or whatever the hell. So it's like, just get out there. Just put yourself out there. But I mean, if you're a deadhead or whatever, you're into the jam band scene, you already know what this is all about. So if there's someone listening to this who's not into all that, like, the thing is, you go and you have a good time, and it's like you do whatever the hell you want to do. And for me, it's about the music. For some people, it's not about the music. For me, it is about the music. For all those reasons I articulated earlier, where all of the stuff that was being shoved down my throat from my peers, I was like, this is terrible. So I needed good art. That's the art is why I'm there. Some people go there just for the party aspect of it or whatever. But that was more back in the day. That's more the generation before me. Basically, it's up to you whether you do this or not. Obviously, it's not a requirement of any rock concert or whatever. But on an empty stomach, no less, which if you're a brave psychonaut, you'll know how bad of a mistake that is. I took an eighth of psilocybe cubensis on an empty stomach on the train ride to New York City. That was eventful. That was fun. I was I was like, oh my God, don't look over there. That's the mirror. Don't look over there. That's people. They're all looking at you. Everyone's speaking Spanish. This is crazy. Everyone's speaking Spanish on the train to New York, and I'm lost in the space-time continuum. Do people just speak Spanish and wherever we go, and you take too much mushrooms? I don't know. I guess that's how it is if you take too much mushrooms on the train to New York City. Regardless, I'm on the train and that stuff is coming on, and I'm like, oh, space-time, what's happening? All sorts of good stuff. You get to the big smoke. You get to New York City, the New York City, the city, the New York City everyone talks about, not the fake New York City, the Big Apple. You get there. You're in Grand Central Station, zooted to the gills from fucking mushrooms, destroyed, falling through reality as you're somehow like, I made it, I'm here, I'm in New York somehow. The thing that stuck with me the most from that experience, other than the beautiful music, the great people, the lights show, just the incorporation of the entire Madison Square Garden arena to the concert that Phish was putting on. And no less, they played Gamehenge. And, if you're a Phish fan, you understand what that means. That was my 8th Phish show, so thank you, Phish. But the thing that stuck with me the most was the human suffering, was seeing the homeless people. I mean, it's New Year's Eve. People are out there partying or whatever. I was there by myself, so I wasn't with anyone. I was alone. It was just me. But yeah, you see people sleeping on the exhaust from the sewer with a cardboard box over them just for the warmth or whatever. And everyone's walking by like they don't even exist. And, it's New Year's Eve. It's a party. It's Happy New Year. And there's someone, just fucking, there's a human being on the ground dying, And it just makes you think. You're like, shit, I drove all the way here from fucking Massachusetts to get fucked up, on some mushrooms and go to this concert. Well, you're just here suffering, So, I don't know. The thing I say when I'm on that shit is I just like, when I'm really fucking tripping, it's like I just want to make a big house and have everyone live in it. You just want to... For me, I don't know if this is everyone when you take whatever happens when you take psychedelics is whatever happens to you. But for me, it's like, let's help those people. Because that to me is the bad trip for me is watching humans suffering. For most people, the bad trip is you remember something shitty you did or a mistake you made or whatever. And that's not a pleasant experience. It can be a lot to say, oh, I did that. Man, that's tough. Like that's bad. There's no other way to put it. And that could be a lot. But, I guess the bad trip can kind of be reality in a sense where you're like, we live in a world where, there's all this suffering going on and, we could, again, it's the thing I said earlier about, if you're related to someone or whatever, we're Americans. The person that I saw sleeping on the sidewalk on New York City using a cardboard box for warmth, they're an American, just like me. Like, I got the big fucking American flag behind me. I'm wearing red, white, and blue because I am a patriot and I love this country and I'm proud to be from America. That's why I hold this country to a higher standard than most, because I love this country and I want what's best for America and for Americans. And I also want what's best for the world, because at the end of the day, this whole country bullshit doesn't even fucking matter. We are all one. We are all human beings. And if you're a human being, you're on Team Human. And we're on the same side. It's not fucking Team America versus whatever the fuck, even though it is. We're number one, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it's not it's like, it's just about people. It's about human beings. So yeah, I don't know. That was an interesting night, to say the least. The contrast of the highs and the lows, I guess. The highs of, oh, I'm going to this great show. they're doing something that they haven't done in 30 years, and I'm freaking in an altered state, so everything just seems so, whoa, like everything seems so different, or I don't even know, different. I don't know if different's the correct word for that. Just amazing, maybe better. But I don't know. Again, I feel like this is trying to be like, oh, I'm better than you. I trip and I feel bad for people. I'm sure if you're alive and you have empathy, you feel that. You don't have to take drugs to feel that. You can, go, oh shit, there's someone suffering. I wish we could help them. So yeah, I don't know. The show started off as Bigfoot, and now it's ending with let's end human suffering, one podcast at a time, one Nick Moore show at a time. The Nick Moore Show, taking over the world, one podcast at a time. I'm Nick Moore. Yep, I'm Nick Moore. These are the anecdotes that you gotta earn. You gotta earn these anecdotes. I'm almost 2 hours into this freaking John. That's wow. That's crazy. I've been rambling about nothing for 2 hours. Hopefully a little more than nothing. Hopefully I have opened your third eye. I have opened your pineal gland. Hopefully we have repelled the fluoride from our pineal glands, and we are all on the quest to spiritual enlightenment and nirvana, if you will. So yeah, we're on a spiritual journey together. Ooh. Let me close my tabs. There we go. Oh, Joe Rogan questions everything. Bigfoot. Is Bigfoot real? I don't know. Woo! Well, guys, we're getting there. We're getting to the end. I'm not leaving you on this, but we're getting close. We're taxiing. We're getting to the runway. We're gliding down we're flying down. 'Cause this show is whatever I want it to be. I'll just make it about what I've been doing these past few years. Like I said, catching good art, because that's what makes me tick. Going to some good concerts, seeing Fish, seeing Billy Strings, seeing Dead and Company before their final tour. I will not be going to the Sphere unless someone wants to wire transfer me enough funds to go to the Sphere. Let me be clear. I would if I had infinite money, I'd be going to see Fish at the Sphere. The Dead and Company, I'd end up there too, probably. But I'd be like, is Trey here? Is he gonna play guitar? I don't know. Meaning to life. What gives life meaning? Art, love, emotion. Feeling things. Just having feelings, just being alive. Here's a thought that I had on psychedelics. I wonder what you guys think of it. We all try to, not we all, but a lot of people, maybe you, people try to say, what is God? What is the devil? What are these things? Do they exist? That's an idea that people have. They're like, is there a God in the sky, or whatever? Is it a man with a beard in a cloud, like in the traditional Christian sense or whatever? Or is God an entity, or is there even a creator to the universe? All this stuff and whatnot. To me, and this isn't Nick Moore talking, this is the mushrooms talking, but my body is just the vessel to convey this message. To me, love is God, whatever that means, and fear is the devil, also, whatever that means. I've been bouncing those sentences around in my brain for a little bit, and I'm like, I like that. That makes That makes sense to me, at least. Because I don't really believe that God is like a dude sitting up in the sky planning everything or whatever. If there is a God, it might just be a force of the universe, or maybe it's the person who made the computer that this simulation is in, because everyone seems to think that we live in a gosh darn friggin' simulation, kid. So, I don't know. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I think God is love and fear is the devil. That's what Nick Moore says, and I hope that doesn't offend your entire religion. I really hope not. But that's just my opinion. First Amendment, rock on. Yeah, I mean, who made the universe? Did someone make the universe? Did it just happen? Who made us? It's a lot of good questions. Oh man, I keep on feeling like I gotta sneeze, but I just end up sitting here making so much dead air. Because I had to burp. All right. Ayo. Yeah, on psych I've heard, listening to Joe Rogan, I've heard him talk about like him being on a really powerful psychedelic trip. And literally like saying like when he felt himself thinking more positively, he like saw the world and the possibilities or whatever open up, and like it all it's just the glass, it's like the glass half full thing, half empty. It's literally, it's like how are you perceiving, it's all in your head. It's all how you perceive things. Is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? Is love the thing that's dominating? Is that your driving force? Do you want to spread the wealth, spread the love and peace and happiness, or are you afraid? And because of your fear, like, okay, if we just all, this is some peak psychedelic talk, but it's true. If we just all loved each other and there was no fear just didn't exist, there would be no need for houses. There would be no need for society. There would be it just wouldn't exist. We would just all literally live together in some sort of, harmony and peace or whatever. But there are fearful people. There are people who are afraid. And that's kind of also the wisdom, I guess, about, this might be a controversial statement, but we're 2 hours in, so you got to let it fly every now and again. The people, kind of like what I was going back to earlier about evil, good and evil, the battle between good and evil. Does evil exist? Do people? Obviously, I feel like some, you're gonna say yes, and there's some pretty good examples, right? But I guess this is where the controversy comes in. To me, those people, the real thing that they are is afraid. That's what they are, and that's why they have rationalized to act the way they do. Am I saying it's okay? Absolutely not. But I don't know. In a sense, I guess I am trying to humanize the villain a little bit. But obviously the victim is the person who you should be, humanizing the most, because they're a victim of someone's nefariousness. But I guess just to say, are people born inherently evil? I don't know. Or are people, or do people become afraid? Are people afraid of things? Do people become afraid of another human based on race, ethnicity, gender, or whatever? All these things that are used to divide us up, and again, all garbage bullshit. When I mean garbage bullshit, never divide anyone up by any of those things. We're all human. That's really it. But again, it's like just operating from that fear mind base. People talk about like a growth mindset and a limited mindset. I think you could interchange the word growth for love and famine with fear or whatever, or limited with fear. That's it. That's literally it. In this context, in a business, or in a context where you're trying to put yourself out there, and in our capitalist world, we're the thing that most people fear is that they're never going to achieve any form of success or whatever. But then, like I said earlier, in the program, it's like, well, how do you define success? Success to one person can be, different to another. So yeah. I feel like, this isn't a revolutionary idea. There was a man by the name of Franklin Delano Roosevelt who said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Did he do hella acid and then come up with that? I don't think so. But but I did. So, yeah. Well, and with that, it's been 2 hours of me rambling. I think it's time to put a bow on this and just say stay tuned for the next episode when I when I smoke DMT, on air. Just kidding. I don't know if I'll do that, but I have done DMT before, so maybe we can break that down on the next episode. I'll leave you wanting more. You thought I rambled about psychedelics for 2 hours? Oh, well, there's 500 more hours where that came from. Just you wait, all right? And with that, I'm out. Thanks for listening. If you somehow made it this far, love you, appreciate you. You're a homie. If you like what I do and you want to support this program, there are links in the description below. The number one thing you can do to support this show, hit that motherfucking subscribe button. And with that, I'm out. I'm Nick Moore. This is the Nick Moore Show, podcast, whatever thing. Word. Peace. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for hanging with me.